What is up, guys? The Australian Charizard here, bringing you part 2 of our Yveltal EX Garbodor deck coverage. If you haven't seen part 1 already, I'd suggest going to check that out. I'll put the link in the description of this video. We basically steamrolled our opponent and got a very quick win, just basically showing you guys the extreme power of the Yveltal and Garbodor deck. So yeah, I really think you guys will enjoy that video, so if you haven't checked that out, I'd suggest going to check that out. I also gave you guys a little bit of an insight to the deck and just gave you a general idea and explained the deck briefly, just showing you guys how it works and what to expect when you play with this deck or if you play against this deck. So I really hope you guys enjoy part 1 and I really hope you guys enjoy part 2. So feel free to stay around and feel free to subscribe to my channel as well. I've got a lot of Pokemon TCG content coming out your way, including Pokemon booster box openings, booster pack openings, as well as Pokemon TCG online deck coverage. And to top it all off, I'll be also doing some giveaways. So thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. So enjoy. We'll get straight into it. Alright, so we found another matchup, and let's hope we can go first again. I'm just really excited after that last match. We just absolutely demolished our opponent. They just had nothing they could work with, and we just decided we'd steamroll them with Yveltal EX, so that was awesome. So we're not going first, but we are starting with an Yveltal EX along with a Hypnotoxic Laser Verbank, which is very powerful. And we do see a Darkrai, so that gives me the suspicion that we are going to be going up against another Yveltal EX deck. So we see very nice darkness energies there and a secret rare Ultra Ball, so it looks like my opponent knows what is going down. So we do see the Spirit Bomb here, and if you guys don't know what that is, the ability here, each player can't play an ace-spec cards from his or her hand, and the Hexed Mirror means shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a number of cards equal to the number of cards in your opponent's hand. So that is a little bit of a nice card to have, but we do see the retreat from the Darkrai, so that is annoying. But I'm going to get the Verbank down and going to Hypnotoxic Laser, hopefully get the Sleep Flip, but we do not. Now, I could attach the Flowstone here, but I don't really want to. We're going to get the Trubbish down, we're going to get another Yveltal EX down as well. I could attach the Muscle Band this turn, but I'm going to save it. I am going to Dark Patch though onto our other Yveltal, and that was a nice turn if I do say so myself. Alright, so what we're looking at here is hopefully a knockout on this Spirit Bomb, but it is going to be a Zoroark deck, which is, believe it or not, a very powerful deck. So if you guys do see one of these decks, just be careful, because it, can do a lot of damage if you let it get too far into the match. Alright, so I am most likely just going to attach a DCE to my Yveltal. I don't really want to end here because my opponent didn't do much that turn. Alright, so I could go for the Y Cyclone here, which is an option, knocking out that there, but I don't really think my opponent has a way to attack me next turn. So I might just end the turn there and take our one prize, which is a DCE, which is definitely nice. So it could have been helpful there just to use Y Cyclone, but hey, we're going to have a really big attack on this Darkrai here. But we do see the Juniper, which is going to give my opponent a lot of options to work with. Hypnotoxic Laser, hopefully, yes, my Pokemon stays awake. Alright, so we're going to see a Dark Patch, and right now this is looking very scary on my behalf. I mean, my opponent's going to Junk Hunt here, probably go for another Dark Patch and a Laser. Could be wrong, but I mean, hey, that's what I would do. We're going to see an Ultra Ball and a Dark Patch, so alright, this has put me in a little bit of a bad position. Okay, so I'm just going to... We do get the Sleep Flip there, which if my opponent stays asleep could be very helpful. Alright, so I'm going to attach a DCE there. I could go for the Muscle Band. I might actually, and I'm going to end here, which could have been a little bit of a mistake, but we did manage to get the Floatstone. I might as well just attach that there, and then we could... what should I do here? We could retreat into the Yveltal just so we don't take any poison damage there, because I don't like poison damage. And we're just gonna knock out this Sableye this turn, take another prize, put my opponent under a little bit of pressure, hopefully. So we are gonna see a Zorua come out, and if my opponent can't evolve them, this is just going to be a little bit of a steamroll. But nope, my opponent, we see an energy switch, muscle band, hypnotoxic laser, attachment, and an N here. Alright, so we do have a handful of supporters. I could Colress next turn, which will leave me with a lot of options, but that was an annoying turn. My opponent does get a hypnotoxic laser onto my other Yveltal EX. Hopefully we can draw a Darkrai or something like that, so we can quickly retreat our active Yveltal into our benched, just so we can steer clear away from that annoying poison damage. But I'm feeling slightly comfortable. I mean, my opponent is down 2 prizes, so we're 2 prizes in the lead, and we're just going to see a pass there after a power pad. Alright, so we do get another Yveltal EX, which could be handy. Alright, so I'm going to evolve to the Garbodor, going to Colress here. And, oh man, that was a little bit irritating. We didn't really manage to get our Darkrai into play, but we did get a Hypnotoxic Laser. And if we had a Muscle Band this turn, we could have got the knockout. I'm just going to think here very quickly. So if we got 20... Ooh, yeah, so I don't think this is going to be enough for the knockout. But what can you do? We're just going to have to... Actually, what I might do here is I might Dark Patch. I'm going to Dark Patch onto the Yveltal here. Okay, I could bench the Boufflant, which may be worthwhile. I might hold on to that for the time being, because my opponent doesn't have too many EX Pokemon. Alright, now I could Ultra Ball here for that Darkrai, just so we're saving our energy. Okay, so that could be an option here. Not sure I'm going to be using Sableye. We're already too far ahead into the match, so it might be a little bit pointless. But we do see a Darkness Energy, which we will be able to use and attach to our active. Or we could attach to the bench. I might end up doing that just so we have a few Yveltals charged up. And we're just going to Evil Ball for 80 damage. And then another 30 with poison. So yeah, that's cool. I'm hoping my opponent doesn't have a way to retreat the Darkrai and get into that Zoroark. So in case you guys are wondering what this card does, Brutal Bash does 20 times the number of Darkness Pokemon you have in play. And Dark Rush does 20 damage times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon. So my opponent did manage to get the Darkrai free retreat with the energy attachment there, and this is going to do big amounts of damage to my Yveltal EX, which is a little bit annoying. So, alright, I'm just thinking here, if I get another energy... Oh no, I can knock out that Zoroark this turn, but the thing is, I'm wondering if I want to sacrifice this Yveltal. I could just retreat here, so I'm not giving up 2 prizes. Then I might Juniper. We do have a Muscle Band, and we do have a DCE, which could be very worthwhile. So I might attach that to this Darkrai. Yveltal EX. I'm going to attach a Muscle Band just for the hell of it, and we are going to go for the knockout on that Zoroark, taking out a lot of energy what my opponent has. And yeah, going down to 3 prize cards. So I am feeling confident. The only thing I am worried about is my opponent knocking out this Yveltal EX over here, which has a lot of damage on it, and that'll just allow my opponent to take a few quick prizes. But the thing here that I am excited about is my opponent only has 1 card in hand, so this puts us at a very big advantage. I might start getting the Darkrai powered up, because that seems like a good thing to do here. Alright, so we're just going to take another quick prize, knocking out that little Zorua there. I feel sorry knocking out baby Pokemon, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So my opponent did use a lot of his resources at that start, so just only having 2 cards in hand doesn't give him much of an option unless we see a unless we see a supporter, but that Yveltal EX is definitely scaring me. That is going to, oh no, so the Yveltal EX is active there, and just going to see a Y Cyclone for 90 damage. Okay, now, I'm thinking here, what I could do is just Y Cyclone, and Y Cyclone onto my Darkrai, which could be an option here. I don't want to N, because that'll give my opponent too much to work with. Alright, so I could move the DCE actually. I might end up doing that, move the DCE onto this Yveltal, just getting that Yveltal extremely powered up. And if my opponent doesn't retreat here into the Zorua, this means that next turn it is going to be game over, and we are going to win this match. But I'm pretty sure my opponent is going to play it smart here, and retreat into that Zorua. Because, you know, it's going to be game over. Unless, oh no, my opponent retreats into the Darkrai. That was an option there. Okay, so there is a lot of damage on all of my opponent's Pokemon. Actually, I'm just going to quickly do a little bit of calculations here. Sorry guys, if we got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, we can take out the match this turn with a Dark Attachment, a Muscle Band onto this Yveltal, doing an insane amount of damage, 180, winning the match. So that just shows you guys how powerful this deck can be if the right things go your way, and this just forces your opponent, because you're basically saying, hey, if you don't make a move next turn, I'm going to keep knocking out your Pokemon. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll definitely have some more for you guys soon. And yeah, I hope you guys have a little bit of an inside idea of how this deck works. And if you do come up against it, just be careful, because you can get steamrolled really quickly and your opponent can make a lot of good comebacks. You know, if with just one single Yveltal EX. So yeah, that basically is it for this video. I know it's a little bit of a long one, but I do hope you guys enjoyed me taking on that Zorua deck. It's definitely a powerful deck, so don't underestimate that one either. So I'm the Australian Charizard. Feel free to subscribe to my channel for a lot more Pokemon TCG content, including booster box openings and giveaways. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.